In the name of the United States, I christen thee, Ticonderoga.
A star-studded cast of military, civilian, and political VIPs gilded the podium as Mrs. Reagan dedicated the Navy's first Aegis-guided missile cruiser at Ingalls shipyard in Pascagoula. Secret Service agents and local authorities held the crowd of several thousand at bay, while Ingalls officials, congressional leaders including John Stennis and Trent Lott, Navy brass and Navy Secretary John Lehman gave their traditional remarks at the christening of the Ticonderoga. The focal point of the day's happenings was the address by Casper Weinberger, Secretary of the Defense.
It is altogether one of the most powerful and one of the most extraordinary ships in the Navy's history. She will greatly enhance the strength of a battle group, and I think it is not in any way boasting or chauvinistic to say that as far as we know today, she can defeat any threats to naval forces, known or projected.
The Secretary gave credit where he felt credit was due to Ingalls Shipbuilding for the construction of the Ticonderoga, with the promise that more work lies ahead almost immediately.
This Ingalls shipyard, of which Senator Stennis and others have spoken so in such glowing terms and so rightly, is a very good example of what we mean. The Ingalls Yard delivered 35 warships to the United States from 1975 to 1980, 60% of all of the combat ships built during that period. It delivered the last 8 Spruance-class destroyers at the rate of 1 a month, setting a new peacetime production record. It's an impressive physical plant and good management and skill and dedicated workforces. All that are exemplified here are really national assets.
Then it was off to the Longfellow House, where she pleased the crowds at last by a few simple but sincere words of thanks for allowing her to sponsor the christening of the unique vessel.
You've given me a chance to redeem myself finally from the only other time I ever christened a ship. And you're right, I couldn't make the bottle break. I just couldn't. And they had it encased in some kind of metal or something. And I still have that at home with all the dents in it, where I kept swinging and swinging and swinging. And when I was doing it, all I could think of was that piece of film, I'm sure you've all seen it, of Mrs. Truman trying to christen the ship, and I kept thinking, Lord, I'm going to go down in history along with Mrs. Truman. Now you've let me redeem myself, and I'm very grateful to you. At least now I've christened a ship properly, and I hope that it has all kinds of luck. And I gave it a little extra pat and a kiss to be sure. Thank you very much.
So the First Lady came to Pascagoula, she saw and christened the Ticonderoga. But it's no doubt her presence will be felt here for a long, long time. As Defense Secretary Weinberger has stated, what happened here today marks the beginning of a new era of defense, an era that could hopefully mean the salvation of this entire nation if we ever go to war. Reporting from Jackson County, this is Elaine Stevens, Newswatch 13.